y'all like that in the jam? Welcome, welcome, welcome to the SHE Pub Network, where we talk books, authors, and publishers. I am Shanita Finesse, CEO and founder of SHE Publishing LLC. And tonight you're going to get an exclusive first look at one of the Black Cyrano's novels, y'all. The name of that novel is A Volatile Game of Passion. Okay, and although I'm holding this book in my hand, I can't share it with y'all just yet. Not just yet. But if you are new to the She Pub Network, I want you to make sure that you like, comment, subscribe, and share this interview. We have some people already in the room. Thank y'all for coming. Now, if you are already, if you are already familiar with the She Pub Network and our family, how we do it, you know what to do. Put your name and where you're from in the comments so we can see where you're coming from, where you are. To those who can't make it out just yet, we want you to make sure to watch the replay of this because, again, this is going to be the first look at the new novel of the BlackCyrano, aka Marc A. Beausejour. So again, welcome to everybody. Hello. Just keep it real, T. Hey, how you doing? Hey, Mimi. We glad to have you in the building. It looks like we have a few newcomers in the building as well. It is so excited to see you. And yes, this cover is about to be fire. Okay. But without further ado, I'd like to introduce the one and the only. Do y'all got the drum roll though? Who has the drum roll? Let me see. Let me see if I can get a drum roll going. No, I don't like how that drum roll gonna sound. Okay, let me see. Without further ado, let's go ahead and introduce. All right, y'all. Let's go ahead and introduce BlackCyrano of SHE Publishing LLC, Marc A. Beausejour.
How y'all doing? How y'all doing?
Oh, no, that wasn't supposed to be it. So what's going on, Marc?
I'm good. I'm good. How y'all doing?
Good, and you? So are you ready tonight?
Oh, I'm ready. I'm ready. This is a great moment. I think it's going to be a historical evening. I can't wait. Every time we talk about a new book launch, as an author, it's always great to birth another novel, to create something new to share with the world. And it feels like there's a fresh feeling about it, knowing that you're about to guide your readers on another journey. And I can't wait to dive into this one.
Yeah, I am so super excited about it. Now, the one thing that we are going to do before we even get into it, before we get into the new novel and everything, one of the things that I've been doing is just making sure with there being so much AI, the people out here want to know if you real. Okay. We want to know if we talking to the real Marc. Okay. There's so much AI. We want to make sure there's some HI going on, some human intelligence going on in the building. Okay. So you ready? I'm about to ask you some questions because we need to validate if you are truly the BlackCyrano. You ready?
Let's go.
All right. Love or lust?
You asking me that?
Yeah.
Love.
Okay. Soulmate or chemistry?
Man, she put me on the spot, y'all. Oh man.
The audience, y'all can help him out too. What you think he gonna say? Okay. Come on.
Soulmate.
Soulmate or soulmate?
Soulmate.
Okay. 3 more. Trust or passion?
Trust.
Right. Even though your title is A Volatile Game of Passion, you chose trust. Okay,
I chose trust.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because passion fades, as we'll find out. Trust is something that's foundational. So, you can have passion for somebody. That doesn't mean you always trust them.
I like that. I like that. Two more. Forgiveness or revenge.
For me, forgiveness,
All right. Last one. Power or peace.
peace.
Okay, yeah. I think he real, y'all. Let's give him a round of applause for that. I think he real.
It don't get no more realer than that. Come on now. Come on.
All right. So we about to let him have it. Now, can you tell us a little bit about why you decided to write this novel?
Yeah, so following the moderate success of the BlackCyrano series, I was actually about to pivot towards writing children's books, and I've told everybody who would listen that that was going to be the next step in my authorship career, was to go ahead and see if I can shift towards more writing children's books, probably level fourth to sixth grade, like small chapter books. So that's what I wanted to do and go into, and I was led into a different direction. So I'm looking at the news, and it seems like there's always something going on every day. So that's why if I could avoid it, I try not to watch the news a whole lot. But
Mhm.
um, I'm seeing a rise in um, famous public figures who are being prosecuted or who have been discovered or charged of crimes of either assault or either domestic violence or sex trafficking. We even seen
Mm.
powerful music moguls who've been mixed up in sex trafficking. One who was dumb enough to get caught on tape beating someone. So when I saw that, my internal alarm went off, and I was like, okay, yeah, I think I got to write about this. I got to put this in story form. So I decided
Wow.
to put my ambition of writing a children's book on hold for the time being. That doesn't mean I
Mhm.
won't write a children's book in the future, but I wanted to release this book because I feel like I needed to shed a light on those issues. And whenever I could use my God-given talent and ability to shed light on serious issues that affects our community,
Mhm.
that's what I want to do. So I said, okay, I got to write this story. And I was saying, okay, what type of title do I create to begin writing this story? So I was looking everywhere for a title, and I thought, okay, I needed to make a title that was going to pull people in, that was going to introduce the story. And I thought about, all of a sudden, there was a word that is very seldom used in our everyday vocabulary, which is volatile or volatility. So when we think about the definition of volatility,
Mhm.
what do we think about? Volatility is basically defined as something that's likely to change quickly or something that happens without warning. When it comes to how people interact with one another, volatility is basically defined as unpredictable behavior, a person
Mm.
changing temper, or a tense situation that might turn violent or angry at any moment. So in realizing what that word meant, I was like, okay, if I'm going to pen a story that's centered around domestic violence, the issue of domestic violence, I got to start the title with that word, volatile. So I said, okay, that's going to be how I'm going to start it. And then I thought about how people treat love like it's a game. You know, a lot of people don't take love seriously. A lot of people don't take commitment seriously. A lot of people like to quote unquote play games with one another. And so I figured, okay, I got to make this sort of like basically a cat and mouse type situation between the protagonist and the antagonist. So uh, that's where the rest of the title came from, Game of Passion. So it's not love, it's
Wow.
not a game of commitment, it's game of passion, because there was no basis in their relationship, as we're going to later on discuss.
Wow. So the subtitle of the book, so since you so eloquently told us how you came upon the title,
Yes.
can you let us know about the subtitle, which is Desire was the game, control was the prize.
So it was funny, the subtitle, and I can't take full credit for the subtitle. I'm gonna be honest, and I'm gonna shout him out. Shout out to my cover designer, Mr. Clinton Holmes from Your Property Marketing. He actually came up with a subtitle, but I decided to keep it because it made so much sense. Because the main characters, which I will discuss throughout this video, the main characters basically are, struggling for control in a relationship. They have desire for one another, they have passion for one another, but they don't want to relinquish control either way. They're both proud in their way. You have, the main character, Yvette Sinclair, who is the main character of the story. She's a self-made boss. She's a CEO of one of the largest entertainment agencies in Atlanta, which is Point Agency. And she's independent. She doesn't want anyone to do anything for her. She is a go-getter. She basically is, no, I'm gonna do this my way. And she is used to being in charge of situations. So basically, Yvette is, and she likes to think that she's successful in every department, which she is. Her agency is thriving, and remember, it's entertainment agency. That means she signs actors, modern day musicians, or music stars, and also athletes. So those are her clientele daily, and her business is thriving. She has nothing to complain about. However, the only thing that she wishes that she has, or the only place she has a void in, is her love life. So she, after a string of failed relationships, she's looking for the right person, the right man to hook up with. And basically, she after one night going with her girls, and I won't spill too much of the book because I'd like people who are watching to buy a copy. But after going out with her girls, she meets a man, and the man's name is Orlando Smith. Now, Orlando Smith is unsparingly the antagonist, but he doesn't start out that way. So Orlando Smith is basically a very smart man. He's an Army vet. He's also a professor at Georgia State University. And you won't believe his subject of choice that he teaches. He basically teaches undergraduate sex education. So that's the subject that he teaches.
So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna go ahead and share the cover, and then we're going to continue to talk because we want to share the cover and we want you guys to purchase tonight. So we want to be able to give you that link, but we got to show you the book first. But before we do that, I just have one more question for you.
Absolutely.
That question is, what conversation do you hope this book starts when people actually get this book?
So when people actually get this book, the conversation that I want the book to start is, how can we love our partner better? How can we open the door to conversation rather than conflict? Or how do we, instead of resorting to physical harm, how do we resolve things in a peaceful manner with our partner? I want to start that conversation. I want to start the conversation with learning how to love with that agape love. Learning how to love holistically, and then learning how not to string other people along. That's a few of the things that I want to start conversations on. And I also want to start conversations about basically not holding yourself back whenever you feel like you're hurt. If someone is hurting you, don't feel like you have to remain within that relationship if it's physically harming you. If you are physically being harmed, get out and ask for help. Don't feel like you are jailed within that relationship. And that's what I want our young women to understand. And that's what I wrote this as an inspiration to them. I appreciate it. I see Jay sound preaching today. Wasn't my intention to, but I wanted to. Thank you. But I wanted to basically point that out. Not just females too. This is for males. This is for both genders. You know, I want everybody to love one another and then not have to resort to physical violence. You know, to show love. And a lot of people think that, hey, if I love hard, you know, that's the reason why I hurt people. No, you know, that's abuse. So there's a fine line, and that's basically what I want this book to highlight.
Wow. All right, y'all. So are y'all ready? Okay. If you are in the chat, please let me hear that you ready. You got to put ready in the chat so we can go ahead and pop this book up and pop that link in the chat. If you ready, say ready. And here we go.
I don't think they caught that.
Come on now.
Come on. You can't get no better than that. And I like the way it unfolded too.
Yeah. Now, tell me this cover ain't fire, y'all. Tell me this cover ain't fire. Wow. So
let me have it. What's the feedback, y'all? What's up?
Let's see the feedback, y'all. Let's see. The comments are definitely coming in. Natasha says yes. Eva loves it. Okay. Jay want us to run that back. We're going to run that back then just to make sure everybody caught it. Okay. Let's run that back. Beautiful.
That's beautiful. Yo, I'm telling you, y'all ain't ready for this. When I tell you, y'all are not ready for this.
Come on now.
Shanita already got her a copy.
I already got my copy, y'all. So we need to drop that link in the chat because tonight we want everybody on this live to support the BlackCyrano. Okay, we want you to support, and so let me just show you. We're gonna drop the link in the chat. Mark, if you're able to drop the link in the chat, I'll try to do that as well. But let me just share my screen really quick.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that. Sure, absolutely.
Yeah.
Is it the book? Is it the book pre-ordering link?
Yep, absolutely. Okay. So I'm going to tell you guys, if you go over to SHE Publishing LLC, www.shepublishingllc.com, and you can go right on our homepage, you scroll down, you're going to see the book. You go ahead and select that cover. You can hit right on the cover, and then you'll be right here on the pre-order page. You can scroll down to the bottom, select the books that you want. Buy a book for you, buy a book for your friend if you'd like to. But yes, go ahead and
Shanita is not letting me post it, so I don't know. You might have to post it.
Okay. Yeah, I think I can go ahead and post it. Let me see if I
for some reason I tried to and it says the comment failed to post, so I don't know.
Okay, yeah, let me see if I can post it.
Yeah, can you post it, please? Because it won't let me for some reason. There you go.
All right, yep. So, yeah. Oh, okay. So I just went ahead and dropped that link, you guys, for to get your copy tonight. And when you get your copy, go ahead and let us know that you purchased your copy, because we want Mark to get as many book sales
pre-order it, y'all,
as possible, you guys. Yeah.
And share the link too. Please share the link. Share that link. Share that link.
I got a question about this cover because it's fire.
Yes, ma'am.
Is this something that you came up with yourself, or is this something that your graphic designer actually did?
So again, yo, Clinton Holmes did it big. And I'm gonna tell you something. So when I what was different this time versus the other covers? So I said, okay, I'm going to help Clinton out this time. So I'm going to go ahead and tell him what I want the cover concept to look like.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, okay, this is what I want the cover to look like. I send him the book summary like I normally do, but this time with the book summary, I also sent like a descriptive detail of each character of the main players in this book. So of course, there are two main players in this book. You got Yvette Sinclair, who's the lady with the pixie cut that you see right there. Beautiful, young, 30-something-year-old lady, boss. And you could tell by her confidence when you showed the graphic there. And of course, you have Orlando Smith, who's tall, domineering, handsome, debonair. But there's one characteristic that I wanted Orlando to have that stood out more than anyone else. I wanted Orlando to look like he's someone that could help, but also I wanted him to have that air of being manipulative, because that's who he is. He's a manipulator. Like, he'll act like he's down with you, but then, you know, he's secretly stabbing you in the back. So see, Natasha's feeling the pixie.
She feeling it now. So I have a couple questions for you. So in starting to write this book, which characters showed up in your imagination first?
Definitely Yvette. And the reason why is, so I was faced with another challenge. So with Yvette, I realized that I was writing it from a female perspective again. Now you have to realize I hadn't done that since Adia's Ballad, which was my second book in the BlackCyrano series. For those of you who don't remember what Adia's Ballad looks like, it's this book. But that one was more of a coming of age story. That one was, she was a teenage girl and she was still going to school, and then she just blew up in the music industry. So that one was kind of easy because it was high school. It was teen drama. You know, it was young adult. This is a different challenge because in here I'm writing a full adult novel. And fair disclaimer, this is an adult contemporary novel. This ain't child's play. So this is for the grown folk, all right? You know, so this is where BlackCyrano has graduated from the young adult into straight adult. And the reason why I say that is because the huge difference between this book and the books of the BlackCyrano series, the BlackCyrano series, I always felt like I was holding back, or I was being reserved with some of the scenarios that the characters were going through. Like, I would let the readers use their imagination to picture scenarios that they're going through, because I didn't want to go, I didn't want to be risque or kind of go over the boundary of what I wanted to really portray. In a volatile game of passion, them chains come off. So I'm not chained no more. I don't let the readers use their imagination. I describe every single thing that happens in this couple's scenarios. And trust me, they have more than a few interactions with each other, both emotionally, intimately, and unfortunately violently, as you will read.
All right. So do you think the readers will admire her or yell at her, not like her character? And the same with Sinclair. Or with Orlando. Sinclair is her last name, right?
Yeah, Yvette Sinclair is her last name. Sinclair is her last name. So I think especially my female readers who are CEOs such as yourself, or who are in management or who are bosses, they will appreciate who Yvette is from the onset. They will love her because they will love her go-getter attitude. They're gonna love who she is as a leader, as a CEO, as a president. They're gonna love the way how she takes action, you know. But at the same time, they'll read that it kind of is a double-edged sword, because she's used to being so strong, because when she was growing up, basically she's had to play second fiddle to her sister, Sophia. Now, they're used in the story. I do kind of describe a little bit of a sibling rivalry between the two, even though they love each other and, you know, they're both come from affluent Black families in Florida, and they would move to Atlanta. She always felt like the parents appreciated Sophia more because she had a career that she felt could make them money. She was a 5-star chef, so she just got out of school and she just got accepted to the Cordon Bleu. And basically she was, I appreciate that, Omia. Thank you. We got to talk for sure. So she was in the Cordon Bleu, and even though Yvette was a CEO, she felt like she wasn't appreciated at her position. So I think my readers will appreciate Yvette being a go-getter, because she always has to prove something, not only to herself but to people around her. I got to prove that I can do this myself. I could hold this power. I could be in control, and that's where the control factor comes in. She always wants to be in control, but that happens until she runs into someone else that allows her to put her guard down. So now, when she meets Orlando is an attractive Army vet. He's a professor. And for people who's read Fires of Justice, there's always something about the male professors, huh? But I'm going to tell you right now, Orlando Smith ain't no Lavelle Thomas by a long shot. Like I said, he's very manipulative.
Okay. So are you saying that the readers will not like him, or will we like him?
It'll be a gradual dislike. I think they'll start out saying, oh, well, this Orlando character ain't so bad. I'm sorry, this is gnats flying everywhere. It's summertime. This Orlando character ain't so bad. He's helping her. He's hooking up with her. He's listening to her. Every woman likes a man that listens to them when they talk. He's easy to talk to. He's fun. He's outgoing. He's maybe a little bit too outgoing, because one of the dates that they go to was literally heart-stopping. I'm gonna leave it at that. It was more adventure than she bargained for, but I think all the readers they'll start out liking Orlando at first, but then gradually they're gonna realize that there's when I say there's like his temper could snap like that, and that's where the word volatility comes from. So there's a hairpin trigger about him. And when he gets angry, all hell breaks loose.
Wow. So I got just a couple more character questions, and then I want to kind of go to some themes. I want to ask you some questions about that. So if Yvette was here, if Yvette walked into the room, what would the people notice first?
If Yvette was to walk into the room, they would notice how she commands the room. Like when she walks in, she knows that she owns the room. I don't know how many of y'all are fans of that show, The Game. Think Tasha Mack. Remember Tasha Mack?
Oh.
So if you remember that character, Tasha Mack.
Okay.
So almost a similar vibe. When she walks to the room, it's like everybody's at attention. Like, okay, we got to hear what she got to say, because she has this vibe where she don't play, like she's a no nonsense type of person, even though she can have a soft side. But, when she comes in, she exudes that power, that control, and I think that's something that every woman who is, like I said, who is a boss, who is a CEO, who is in charge of a certain aspect of their position, they can relate to. So they'll notice that right away. That'll be the first thing they notice about Yvette, is how she takes control of situations.
Okay, now just for the ladies. Now, if he walked in the room, what would we notice first?
You talking about Orlando Smith?
Orlando.
Yeah, they're gonna notice his build. I'm sorry, y'all. Y'all gonna be looking at the physics. He's clean cut, great smile, confident, laid back. And he's also exuding power when he comes in too. But where you don't see the manipulative side of him yet. So
Okay.
He's actually very persuasive. That's another good word to describe Orlando. He's persuasive. Like he's gonna sweet talk you to trying things that you didn't think you would try before in your life. Like he wants to get you to do certain things that you may not want to do at first, but because it's Orlando, he got my back. He's sweet. He's kind. And because he's been in the army, I know he's going to protect me from danger because he's faced danger. He's been overseas. That's what most people, not that he was just in the army. He's actually been in a war zone before, and that was his escape from, and the army was his escape from the trauma that he dealt with as a child, as my readers will read.
Wow. So, ladies and gentlemen, one of the reasons why I'm asking you these questions about the characters is because I don't know if y'all noticed this, but Marc is very passionate about, his writing and how he writes. And it's almost like these are real people. Like I'm asking him these questions and he actually has an answer, for each and every one of them. Like he could probably tell me the background story, where they grew up, all this other stuff. But it's like anybody who's written a fiction book, it always inspires me because it's like, how are you coming up with this? Like I can ask you a question and boom, boom, boom. I mean, if y'all agree with me, let me know. Drop it in the comments. I will say that Omia, she said that you are so creative. She said, Marc, we need to do a collab. I love your imagination. And it's just the truth. Your imagination, it just runs wild. And when you read these books, you're like, oh my God, like this has to be a movie. This has
and
to.
let me tell you this, and this is me talking like straight like an author. I feel like the more I've been doing this, because I've been an author now for more than 10 years, I feel like I've gotten better as an author in terms of my imagination, in terms of conveying my thoughts. Because in the BlackCyrano series, there were certain elements that the reader would read that I experienced at some point in my life. Like all 7 books, like there would be a part of the book where, I've seen it or I've experienced it when I was younger living in New York. All right. A Volatile Game of Passion, none of the events that's in this book has anything to do with anything I've experienced. So A Volatile Game of Passion was new to me. I have not experienced not one thing I've written about. So this was real. This really took me to dig deep into the recesses of my mind and got inspired to write this book and to give it to the readers. So I'm telling you, my readers are gonna know. They're gonna realize a different part of the BlackCyrano that they haven't seen before. Because again, the chains are coming loose. I don't hold back. There are some scenarios, and there's a disclaimer in the beginning of the book too. There may be some scenes that may be, too much for readers, because I know some readers are sensitive to certain scenes, especially during the passionate scenes, especially during the physical abuse scenes, because I go into, unfortunately, graphic detail. But I feel like that's needed because the best way to tell the story is to be truthful about it. Telling a story like this can't be clean cut because there's a lot of, unfortunately, unhappy things that happen.
Right. So I want to get into a segment called the Don't Tell Us segment. Okay. So, okay. So you guys know that, sometimes when people are interviewed, right? And the interviewer would ask them a question and they somehow don't answer the question, but answers the question without answering the question, if you know what I mean. But we're gonna try this. You're like, I don't know if I know what you mean. Do not answer.
You might
Can't tell us.
trip me up here. So, but
So you can't tell us. Okay, so
I got
let's
you. I
see.
got you. All right.
All right. So I want you to answer these without telling us the answer. Let's see how this works. Does somebody betray somebody? does somebody in this story betray somebody without answering the question? Okay. All right.
Next question.
Ooh, that was a good one. Okay. Does someone fall in love too quickly?
Next question.
All right. Will the readers cry?
You said don't answer, right?
You can say something, but don't directly answer it.
Okay, so y'all know that my nickname is BlackCyrano, right? What is the basis of the BlackCyrano? And I appreciate that, Omia. And you are too. You're on fire too. Y'all get Omia's book, all right?
Yep.
But BlackCyrano, the basis of the BlackCyrano moniker is so that I stir emotions in my readers. When I say I stir emotions, where I make readers feel different types of emotions: anger, fear, happiness, joy, also sadness. I'm gonna leave it at that.
That's it. Oh, that was good. That was good. Come on, y'all. Let's give them a hand for that. That was good. Answering the question without answering the question.
I mean, come
Okay,
on.
and just one more. Will the readers think I did not see that coming?
My readers will go through an emotional roller coaster when they read this book. They will go through an emotional roller coaster. I mean, I said that about Divine Vengeance, but Divine Vengeance, while that, even though there were emotional roller coasters in that book, there was a few surprises. A Volatile Game will take my readers on many twists, many turns, and that's really all I can say without directly answering the question, because I think Rhonda, when I interviewed with Rhonda and I kind of told her the summaries of some of my other books in the BlackCyrano series, she was impressed by how I was able to perfect the plot twists in my books. So
I don't know how you do it. I don't know how you do it.
Me neither. God, I don't know how I do it. I really don't. And it just be coming out of nowhere too.
Wow. So this will be my final question of the hour, and then I'll allow you to share,
as much as I can about it. Like I'm gonna share like the general parts without giving up the book. I already know what I'm gonna say, so that's fine.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So what makes today the special drop for this particular book?
Well, it was going to be a
No,
different.
but I want you to answer this question for real.
Okay. I mean, if you was on social media all day, you kind of know why. I mean, I chose today.
Okay. All right. Don't even answer the question. So the people who are out here, do you know why? Do you know why today was a special day to drop the book? And if you know, and if you purchase a book, you may get a second book in your purchase. If you could answer right now in the chat, what makes today the special day that this book was dropped? And I'm going to wait for a while. And then with that said, Natasha again? Yeah, so you could tell them. You can answer the question now.
So today is my 39th birthday, and after coordinating with Shanita, I felt that spiritual downloads. I like that. I like that. So it's my birthday, and I felt like today was the ideal day to drop A Volatile Game of Passion, because this book was It was actually in work for a couple of years. I actually started penning the book late 2024, early 2025, but I had some technical issues with my old laptop when I was writing it. So until I could get the money to get the laptop, the story was on hold for a few months until Christmas of 2025. And then from Christmas up until May, I was able to finish the book. So so basically that's the length of time that it took to write it. And it also gave me an idea to implement some new things in this book that I never otherwise would have implemented before. And I would have never talked about in the past with the BlackCyrano series. So A Volatile Game of Passion, I'm thankful that it's not part of the series. It's a standalone for now. Uh-huh. Take that with whatever grain of salt you want to take it. It's a standalone for now. And it's a whole new story base, new characters. However, I'll tell my readers this. I do bring back one character from the BlackCyrano series. He's just older, but I do bring someone back. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Now divine timing. I like Natasha saying that. Divine timing. Yes.
I like that. Okay.
Yeah. She's on the money.
So, audience, like based on what Marc has said tonight, let me know if you think you would be Team Yvette or Team Orlando. Okay, answer that in the chat as well. And I feel like my husband today. He likes giving away things. I'm not giving away another book, but I'm giving away something else. So, your name will be entered to win. It's a secret, y'all. I can't let everything out the bag yet, but let us know in the chat if you're Team Yvette or Team Orlando. And let me see. Also, I'd like to know, have you ever ignored red flags? Have you ever ignored red flags? Now, in this book, are red flags ignored?
Can I answer this one?
Yeah.
They are absolutely ignored. Actually, they're not just ignored, they're overlooked. They're glossed over. Because, so basically, after Yvette meets Orlando, things are going good at first. Things are chill. Everything's going well. And then one evening, while they're already hooked up, that's when she first noticed the flip. I call it a switch flip. So throughout the book, during the moments when Orlando would lose it, I call it a switch flip. So Mia's like Orlando. She's Team Orlando. I think I know why, because she penned Dr. Peabody. She's probably thinking Orlando might be like the female Jaylee. I don't know what it is, but but I don't know. There might be some. Yeah, but no. Yeah, so Orlando, he doesn't let anyone know right away, but he's when that switch flips, it's like a totally different person, like somebody else. So the red flags are definitely ignored because she tries to shrug it off like, okay, it's a one-time thing. I messed up. And Yvette will take responsibility at first, like whenever Orlando would get mad about something that she supposedly did or said, and she'll internalize it, and then she'll make Orlando feel good about it. But that's a red flag because she kept ignoring that dark side in him wanting to emerge, because she's so enthralled with him. She's so taken by him. You know what I'm saying? Like he's the only person that she could let her guard down because number one, not only is he attractive, but he knows his way in a bedroom. And that was the reason why her past relationships didn't work, because she was always dissatisfied with the men's performance in the bedroom.
Wow. Look, Yvette this is rated R, y'all.
Yeah, Yvette is she's not a nympho or anything like that, but she does have a little bit of a sex addiction. So she part of the basis of her relationship is that she wants Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Yeah, Natasha, for sure.
Yeah.
She
Wait, it's almost sounding like Natasha's book, which is actually by Yvette. But keep
okay.
going.
Yes. Ain't that funny how that works? That's so funny. I
Man,
promise you.
like y'all
Yeah.
books be kind of,
Aligning. We didn't plan this, I promise. No,
I
but
don't know.
no, we didn't plan it. But no, Yvette was she ignored those red flags because she felt like, okay, I messed up. He's cool, but she I don't know. I mean, ordering Orlando as soon as we're off here. Yeah. Me is a trip. But uh but yeah. No, but yeah, I mean, he's he's a manipulative guy. That's who he
Yeah.
is. And she was so entranced by the way he could work, especially in the room, that she overlooks all the red flags that are appearing.
Yeah.
And like I said, there's two things I want to point out in this book. So the first thing that I want to shed a light on was, of course, domestic violence, which is going to be a common theme in this relationship. The next thing that I wanted to point out was the sex trafficking. Now, I'm not going to spoil it because I want my readers to find out for themselves.
Yeah.
But there is a direct tie between Orlando and sex trafficking. And I'll say it like that. And unfortunately, Yvette does not know about that until it's too late.
Oh, wow. Okay, this definitely sounds like it's gonna be a really interesting read.
Ladies, I'm gonna tell y'all right now, this is one of them books where you want to have a glass of wine, probably light up a couple candles, sit in your bed, and you might not go to sleep. I'm gonna tell you like that. Yeah, bed. That ain't gonna happen for you. Yeah. You're probably gonna be up all night reading this. I'm just saying, and I'm for real. Like you are. And when I was breaking down the summary, shout out to my barber Glenn, I was breaking it down to him, and he's like, "Yo, some of that stuff that you're talking about in the book, that be happening in real life." Like he told me, like that's a reality down here because and there. Normally, when I write a book, I like to think that I do a little bit of research. When I say research, observation. I study habits of everyday people in Metro Atlanta and Atlanta. I study how people react. I study how things get down around here. So I basically look at certain behaviors, and I'm able to convey that in my writing, and I'm able to convey that within the character development in these characters. So that's been an internal gift of mine that I've honed since I've written the BlackCyrano series. And I think it's been to a great benefit because A Volatile Game of Passion, like I said, it's one of the more risque books that I've written. #1 bestseller. Hey,
wow.
God willing.
Yeah.
God willing. That's all I can say. God willing. And I'm gonna say this. If you remember the Zane books, you know about Zane, right?
Yeah.
Now, that was before my time. I was a little bit too young to read Zane, but I used to watch the TV series when I was younger. So it's always been like a guilty pleasure of mine to try to Omia saying, no, I'm saying he's good in bed.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Oh yeah. See, I'm already getting Omia feeling some type of way about him.
Look, this seems they're going to be on the book club, the late night readers book club. I'm definitely assuming. I know that's what's going to happen.
Yeah, yeah. I'm thinking this is going to be picked up. I really, because the way Omia's going about it, she's already looking forward to it for being part of the book club.
So I want to test your ability to, because you're very creative. Okay, so these are gonna be my final two questions because we are at the 50-minute mark. But I'm gonna say a sentence. I'm gonna say not a sentence, but the beginning of a sentence, and you're gonna repeat it and add to it. Okay. You just got to be creative with it. Just add to it. It may not even make sense, but make it make sense. You have about 30 seconds to complete it and to give us a story surrounding it, okay?
Whoa, like on the spot?
On the spot, right here.
Oh
Okay, you
boy.
ready?
No, but go ahead.
And you got to make it make sense, okay? And you got to repeat it. I
Okay.
bought my first Lamborghini because.
I brought my first Lamborghini because A Volatile Game of Passion was depicted into a movie, and I got a 10-picture movie deal, and I was able to garner some money to get the Lamborghini.
Whoa. That's gonna be what they call it, viral. We just gonna play that one clip. And that is it. And then we're gonna just drop the link to this video. And then
Yes.
everybody's going to
Mm-hmm.
see what we
They'll
got
look
cooking.
back and be like, yeah, Marc called it, you know.
We're gonna see. Okay, so now for the mic drop question, the final question of this hour, after everything we've talked about, if you could describe this book in just 5 words, what would they be?
Scintillating, sultry, passionate, page turning, shocking.
Wow. All right. Well, thank you guys for joining us. And as you can see, the SHE family just keep dropping these books. That's just absolutely amazing. We are going to be back. We are going to bring you back to what the author didn't write. We want to know some things that maybe you didn't write in the book. But before we do that, we want the people to get their hands on the book, and we want them to actually purchase their copy of the book so that they can read about it.
I don't think they
and
could see it
find out
because you got the they can't see you holding it because the visual is in the middle of us. So
Oh man, okay. So let me see if I can remove it so you guys can
no, so they can see you
actually.
holding it. Yeah,
Okay,
just
so
so they
you
can see
guys
you
can
holding it.
actually
There you
see.
go. Yep.
Look, now he wasn't playing. This is pretty
Show them the back cover.
good.
Show them the back. Look at that.
Come on now. Okay. This
I'm
book
telling you.
is
Hey,
absolutely
and shout out once again
beautiful.
Mr. Clinton Holmes. So when I told him my concept, because I didn't finish explaining it, when I told him my concept, and then the first thing that he messaged back to me, he said, "Okay, Marc, what do you think of this?" And then the first thing that he showed me was the cover that everyone is seeing right now. He got it in one shot. Like normally, when he sent me covers in the past, it would take 2 or 3 times, but this time he would have sent. I said, "Yo, Clinton, that is it, dog. That is it. That is it. You got it." And you know, he messaged me back. He said, "Yo, Marc, come on, give me something harder, man." I'm like, "Yo, what?"
I mean, that's pretty awesome to have a graphic designer like that.
He was able to capture the whole vibe of the book. Like when you look at the cover, you know, the background that you see right there, that's Atlanta. That's the city of Atlanta in the background because that's where Orlando lives. Orlando lives in a first floor apartment loft and is overlooking the city of Atlanta. So you can see Atlanta in the background there. So that's why I wanted to, right there. So that's why I wanted to show the readers that this is an Atlanta-based story, you know? So there's no trips to New York. There's no, nothing like that. It's totally based in Atlanta. So Atlanta streets, Atlanta locations. So the location is very important. And then the characters, I think you'll be able to relate to the characters, especially Yvette's friends. I'm going to mention them by name. You got Abby, who's, the heavy set, attractive, I got to show, the plus size women some love, but she's confident about herself too. She's the owner of a beauty salon in Atlanta. And then you got Aqua. So Aqua is another character in the book who actually works within the school system. So she's an administrator, but she's also one of Yvette's best friends. So when they're not working, when they're not being in charge, they like to go out and, blow off some steam, so, and it was actually during one of the trips that she has that chance meeting with Orlando, so,
nice.
And that shows, so I want to put like a little community around Yvette, and then, they give her ideas, and then when Yvette finds it hard to confide in them completely. What happens when that switch flip? Again, we're talking a switch flip. She
Mm-hmm.
doesn't want to tell anybody because she doesn't want anybody to know that she's struggling. You know what I'm saying? It's part of that internal thing that she's holding back because she thinks that she could transform him, she could change him, she could maybe make some sacrifices on her end to try to ease him. But once she
Right.
realizes that the trauma that he's undergone, it makes him too far gone and he's going to do what he's going to do, then that's when things take a turn for the worse.
Wow. Wow. Well, look, first of all, I'd like to say thank you for allowing SHE Publishing LLC to publish this manuscript, and
Mm,
just you being a part of the SHE family. We appreciate you. We appreciate your creativity.
thank you.
I always say it, there's no SHE without you. There's no SHE without you guys. So
Thank you.
as an appreciation for you just coming back to the SHE Pub Network and sharing this story, we will be sending you one of our new SHE tees.
Okay,
Um,
nice. That's what's up.
'Cause look, we got to make sure our apparel, we got to keep up with the apparel now. I will give you the option of which one you want, but we definitely want to send you that as an appreciation again for coming on Meet the Author. You guys have met the author yet again, Marc A. Beausejour.
Thank you so
And
much.
with that said,
Oh, before you end it,
uh-huh.
I would like
Okay.
to announce future events that's coming up for me. So this coming weekend from July 31st to August 2nd, I will be at the National Book Club Conference in Buckhead, Atlanta. So those of you who are in the Atlanta area, um, I think registration is still open for readers. I'll be selling copies of I'm one of the vendors at that event. So I'll be selling copies of the BlackCyrano series novels in the National Book Club Conference in Atlanta. And hopefully I'll also see um, Pamela Coleman there. I think she's still coming. And I know I'll see Dr. Rhonda Lawson there. So I'll have a few people that will be there as well that will be selling their books and their products as well. So come out and support. And after that, due to some family obligations, I'll be holding off from touring, at least for the foreseeable future this year. But I'm hoping to go back to the literary weekend next February. Hopefully, I'll have copies of A Volatile Game of Passion in tow when I go to DC in February to that event. So to the Black History Month Literary Weekend. And then toward the end of the year, I'm going to start making my itinerary for 2027, which will include tour dates that is set up by SHE Publishing and also dates that I've set up locally, here in the Metro Atlanta area. So Kennesaw, Ackworth, Marietta, Jonesboro. I'm going to start doing like
Nice.
small book club signings to align with the major events. And I'm hoping next year I return to Indianapolis for IBE. I couldn't go this year because of the publishing of A Volatile Game of Passion. Now y'all know why I went ghost last few months. I was busy putting this masterpiece out for y'all. So,
Yeah.
and life be life. And so I know people like, that could crank out 2 or 3 books, a year. Bruh, right now I can only do one. I can only do like one a year right now.
And
So
I don't see how they do it. I don't see how y'all do it, but
because
man,
Royce already got like a couple books out. I'm like, Royce, what's your secret, man? Like,
he
you be
does.
killing it. But no, I respect that. And I respect authors that can come out with multiple books because that shows their dedication and commitment to the craft. And it shows
Yeah.
how hard work that they put in, the hard work that they put into to write. So it's good. I appreciate it. And I appreciate everyone who tuned in tonight and who pre-ordered a copy of A Volatile Game of Passion. Thank you so much for pre-ordering. Please share this link with your friends, your family members. And I hope you guys enjoy it once you receive the book. Allow a few weeks for shipping. And let me know what you think. Leave your review. And don't forget to check out the other books of the BlackCyrano series. Thank you so much for joining the experience.
Absolutely. And with that said, and until next time, we'll see you At the next party. Wait, hold up. Yeah, so and thank you, Mimi. Thank you, Mimi. Mimi said congratulations. I'm just trying to make sure. And thank you to everybody who came and joined us and spent this hour with us, because we are definitely at the hour right now. And so again, thank you, Marc. Thank you, readers. Thank you, viewers, and see you next time.
All right.